Welcome, my friends, to the showdown between the Greenskins, who shall be led by Dr. Doom and Darkness atop Skullmuncha. And today, guys, we're going to be facing off against the Wood Elves, who shall be led by Mel Gibson, and it looks like he's going to be coming in with the dreaded double Treekin, so certainly going to be quite a bit of fun. Now, as far as the build goes, here in the front line, it's going to be Orc Boys and a couple Goblins, but I did bring one group of Black Orcs, which might seem like a bit of a strange pick, but there is a bit of a resurgence of Wood Elf players doing Mass Dryad Vanguards, coming in with Orion running in there, so I was like, okay, I want to have something that can hold the front line, that can beat Dryads, that's immune to psychology so they don't get terror-routed by Mel Gibson. And yeah, so we brought Black Orcs here in the front line, which might seem like a strange pick, but I do think it's going to be pretty good, especially against what my opponent brought, the Great Heir of Carthage, ever the hero of the people here. He does have Orion and Treekin, just an absolute champion. So in the front here, it's going to be Orc Boys, Black Orcs, like I said. It's AP Loonies because, again, they're unbreakable. But in the back, I have to always respect the Waywatcher play because, I kind of was suspecting a Dryad Rush or something aggressive from him. But if he did come with Waywatchers and I was just all in countering the Dryads, I would pretty much just lose the game. So here in the back, we do have two Doomdiver Catapults, which are so good against Wood Elves. So if they're playing the skirmish game, let's say they have Wild Riders and Sisters of Thorn and Archers, these things are like heat-seeking. They can go after Wild Riders, and they do good damage against all the aforementioned targets. So Doomdiver Catapults, super good in this matchup. On top of that, we have a light skirmishing core of our own. We have three groups of Goblin Wolf Rider Archers, and I actually like these guys quite a bit. They can do some poking damage against Dryads, harass the back line, pressure Archers. I just think they're kind of a fun, cool unit. So we do have three of those bad boys. Up in the sky, we do also have AZHAG. So AZHAG I like quite a bit. Buna against the high value, Wild Riders and targets like that. If they come in with powerful single entities like Mel Gibson, Spirit Leech is going to be very good as well. And again, if they have an aggressive rush build, he's a pretty good fighter. So you can get in there and scrap. The one thing you have to watch out for in this matchup is if you're using AZHAG or any other Greenskin character is Pravenoth Rama. So if you get caught with that and he gets sniped, it really sucks, but you just got to be careful. A couple of Goblins over here in the forest just to kind of deal with skirmishers. And in the back, we do also have the Broken Tusk Mob. Just the one cav unit here with a couple of nasty Skulkers to protect my artillery pieces. Broken Tusk Mob, anti-large, armor piercing, and they have 90 armor, which makes them so good against Wild Riders. Wild Riders lack AP, and normally Wild Riders just dump all over Greenskin cav, but here, if you have the Broken Tusk Mob, they can put up a bit of a decent fight. So for my opponent's army, it looks like it's going to be not a Dryad Rush, but rather a Treekin Rush. So front line's going to be Eternal Guard mixed in with the Winterheart Guards, two individual tree men. He does also have Orion, which I think Orion's actually a really good pick against Greenskins. A lot of people might perceive him as a bit of a meme here because of just how good the Glady is and the Helm of Discord Dragon, but I do think Orion's really good. His melee prowess is insane. I mean, he can bull rush through most infantry. He has really good mass, anti-large, armor piercing. He causes terror. He is an absolute beast. And on top of that, he's a bit of I wouldn't say a distraction Carnifex, but if you get him very low, he does have the Cloak of Aisha. So this gives him massive ward save and healing. So a lot of people burn him down quick and they're like, oh, let's go all in and kill Orion. And then you basically just lose because you invest so many resources, you can't kill him. He beats the brakes off you. And yeah, it's not a good situation. On top of that, there's going to be a couple Glade Guard in the back with Branch Wraith with the Pendulum and Earthblood. Very good stuff. And two groups of Wild Riders. So it should be a fun battle. Let's get this show on the road, guys, and have some fun. So Doomdiver Catapults coming downtown, tearing into the Wild Riders initially. Some of the Goblins do meet their end here at the bottom of the top of this hill, which is a little bit unfortunate for those guys. But nonetheless, Doomdiver Catapults doing some really good initial damage and definitely one of my favorite pieces in this matchup. And I highly recommend you guys try him out against Wood Elves. You won't regret it. Now, if they do come into the rush build, it's not going to be as effective, but it does give you very good countermeasures against skirmishing play. So on the front, we're doing some light poking with the Goblin Wolf Rider Archers. I couldn't really get around the back too easily because he does have Wild Riders. And I also forgot to mention, guys, I do have two groups of Forest Goblin Spider Riders, each of which deployed on the flanks, which I'm basically just going to be trying to get onto the Glade Guard as the game does progress here. So again, some light skirmishing, just doing some poking on the tree men, just doing damage wherever I can. Doomdiver Catapult still shooting in, getting really, really good value against these Archers in the back. You can see these Glade Guard are almost done. So now that the frontline fighting's almost underway, I pull the Goblin Wolf Rider Archers in the back, and I pull around the back here. He does have the Wild Riders to deal with that, but if they're chasing Goblin Wolf Riders or Spider Riders, it's going to open up pressure in other areas. So in the front, my Archers are shooting in, some of them going after Mel Gibson, who has popped the Horn of the Wild Hunt. So these Eternal Guard are going to get a whopping charge bonus of 9, but more importantly, the Treekin are going to come in and start slapping the base a little bit. So we do get our charges across the front for the most part. Black Orcs will be charging in against those guys, and it's going to be a good engagement there. So I think I actually missed the charge there with those Black Orcs, which is unfortunate, but I think I just had such a hard on for killing Orion. So my Archers here are going to be shooting. Doomdiver's still working on the Wild Riders, and basically in the back I'm just trying to juke and get in where I can and just find an opening here. I do also drop a Buna here on the Wild Riders, which is definitely going to be very powerful, and we get Orion very low. So AZHAG's going to be going in, but this is the trap I'm telling you guys about. He's low, he's near death. I'm like, okay, AZHAG can kill him easy. AZHAG's very powerful, but he's not budging, guys. He's also healing, and it seems like the Archers aren't making as good of contact as they were before. Now in the front line, you can see some of the guys have broken through on this flank, so some Orc Boys have gotten in, but I'll pull nasty Skulkers from the flank to deal with that. And it looks like Air's going to be pulling in some Wild Riders to go after AZHAG. So suddenly I'm like, oh man, this is a bit of a pickle. But in pulling in those Wild Riders and some of those other troops, I basically get a freebie on a lot. It's not a lot of the back line, but some of it. We do engage the Wild Riders and also get some of the archers. And yeah, we have goblins in the back line as well. So the broken test mob is helping to kind of deal with the issues in the back, but I do need to pull away from this Eternal Guard. But yeah, AZHAG really got beaten down pretty bad. Now we are slightly ahead on the bounce of power because Orion is so damn low, but he is so hard to kill. 533 Earthbloods are coming in as well. But those Black Orcs are proving to be a real anchor piece. So here in the back line, the Forest Goblin Spider Riders, they get pushed off a little bit, but now Goblins have engaged against Wild Riders. So my other group of Spider Riders is going to be Tokyo drifting up around the back and jumping onto these two groups of Glade Guard, which is going to be pretty good for sure. And for the most part in the back line, we have stabilized. Broken Test Mob is kind of on guard duty here, just waiting for an overextension. And finally, we get that opportunity. One of the Treekins did push past the front line. It has no supporting Eternal Guard or anything like that. So we get AZHAG in a safe engagement here. The pigs are going to be screaming down the hill, just oinking and hogging it. And they get that good engagement against a large target, the Tree Man. Now, the Tree Man is trying to fall back to its supporting elements, but I have Black Orcs nearby as well. So we should be able to get a good engagement there. In the back line, Eternal Guard have pushed back to the Doomdiver catapults. I think both are still online, and I still have another group of Skulkers in reserve who's going to be sprinting after these archers here. Both groups of Wild Riders are pretty much done for. This one is gone, the other one's gone, and you can see the Goblins are just quickly pushing over here to the Blade Riders. The perpetual damage coming in from the Doomdiver catapults plus the Fate of Una was really able to just melt those riders. Really nice pendulum coming in. That was great. It actually hit through all my troops here. Hits the pigs, but the Broken Test Mob are they're no mere pigs. These guys definitely hold quite firm. And the Eternal Guard, with their low damage output, aren't really able to just break through the nasty Skulkers that quickly, so I basically just reform ranks with my firing line. I get my Goblin Wolf Rider archers, my regular archers here with the Durustiers. We're able to sunder the armor here of this Tree Man. We're just shooting in, getting great damage, but more importantly, we have Black Orcs plus the Orc Warboy Biggins, really just pounding those guys. And Doomdivers are going after Mel Gibson. He's going to be taking a blow right to the dome, but look at this beast. And I told you, like, that was a pretty big gambit. I put in just so many resources to killing him early, and it does come back to bite you later in the game. Both Doomdivers are still online. We were able to win the battle on this flank, so Skulkers are coming in, Spiders are coming in. We have a full wrap here, and the Treekin are just being focused down by missiles at this point. So you can see the Doomdivers still shooting in happily, going after Mel Gibson. And, you know, what I could do is I could just sit with AZHAG, focus down Orion with missiles, but, you know, I figured it would be a fun, glorious way to just have a good showdown here at the end. So AZHAG's going to be coming in, going in with a Spirit Leech on Orion. He does have the support of some goblins for sure. Orion shouts a war cry as AZHAG puts some death magic, and here comes the final battle between these two glorious beings here. But Orion looks like how did he survive that Alpha Strike? 65 HP, 69, that's what she said. Oh, and he gets him. He gets AZHAG. But with that, you know, Orion, the demigod of Athaloran here, is going to be prison chained down by a bunch of goblins. So it's a classic ending to a Warhammer battle. And the Treekin, in the meantime, are focused on by archers. Black Orcs are going to be closing in. Pigs from the back, and both Treemen are pretty much shattered as the Forest Goblin Spider Riders do chase off the archers and other tools here in the back. So well played, Air. It was a really fun game for sure. It was wild. I was really shocked when when he didn't die. When like Orion tanked to that beginning, he was at like 300 HP. I was like, oh, AZHAG will like two-shot him here, but he tanked it like an absolute champion and almost killed AZHAG because I felt like the battle was going pretty well in many respects until that point. I was like, oh god, that was scary. So yeah, very, very tense situation for sure. But AZHAG went in like a champion. I mean, obviously, you would want to stay back normally and just be cautious and just grind down Orion to the point where he can get one-shotted by a charge like that or a Spirit Leech. But, you know, you got to have fun sometimes. You got to treat yourself. But as far as the build goes against Wood Elves, now, I would probably... I don't know, the Wolf Rider archers performed okay, and I think against like annoying Hawk Rider play and things like that, they are going to be a huge boon for you. Plus the Doomdiver catapults, it gives you an extra layer of defense against Wood Elf skirmishing, and they can kite Wild Riders and do good damage. I mean, I like them. They give you some nice battlefield control. My usage wasn't the best, and obviously he brought like a double Tree Man build, which you know, definitely caught me off guard in that respect. But yeah, I like the Wolf Rider archers. I think the Broken Test Mob at the back is a pretty good tool against Wild Riders and other pressuring, you know, large targets and threats, dragons, stuff like that, you name it. Yeah, it was a pretty fun build for sure. I don't know what I would change. I'd have to play it a little bit more, but I do like the Doomdiver catapults quite a bit. And as far as his build goes, it's very unorthodox for sure. The double Treemen, I don't think Treemen are... So obviously I put out a list, I think it was a couple days ago, that said that one of the worst units, or the worst unit for the Wood Elves is the Treeman. And I do think in the scope of their bracket, it is one of the worst units. It's not that the Treeman itself is just like a terrible unit per se because of its stat lines and things like that. It's just kind of the way it fits into the Wood Elf roster because, you know, if you look at the Wood Elf roster, like, most of the other units are pretty good. It's kind of hard to like really kind of you know, pinpoint that. But against Greenskins who don't have the best missile play, the Treeman can be quite scary. But again, with volume of fire coming in from Wolf Rider archers and, you know, these different Goblin archers, you can usually bring them down, especially with AZHAG. AZHAG gives you a lot of punch as well with his AP, and, you know, rear charging Treeman wouldn't have been a bad idea. And that's what I should have done instead of going after Orion, is just either snipe the Branch Wraith or go after the Treeman. So yeah, but that Orion bait, it gets me every time. But yeah, the Wild Riders are always good. They beat down Greenskin, you know, Greenskin Cav pretty easily, right? They can beat pretty much anything the Greenskins can bring to bear. But that's why you Doom Diver focus them and then use AZHAG to finish them off, because then that forces battle into an area where you can win it, which is the infantry fight and things like that. So yeah, it was pretty fun. And yeah, the Eternal Guard, they're not... I feel like Eternal Guard against Greenskins, I don't know. Yeah, it's hard to say. I mean, I guess if you're going for Tree Cannon, that's probably not a bad idea, because they're durable. They have high melee defense, which is going to allow kind of a what's the term I'm looking for? Like a bastion upon which the treemen can stand, right? But I don't know, arguably Dryads, because Dryads do kill like all these guys except Black Orcs really, really quickly. But yeah, it's hard to say. It's hard to say. These guys are pretty good against skirmishing, but I do think Dryads maybe are a slightly better pick there. But yeah, anyways. Very well played to my opponent, the Great Heir of Carthage. Make sure to check out his YouTube channel. I'm sure all of you guys already know who he is. So well played to him, and hopefully you guys enjoyed this Greenskin versus Wood Elf showdown, and we will see you guys next time. Take care.